On to National 2 North now, where it was another big home result for Sheffield Tigers in round 13. Boss Jack Howison saying at the weekend that his side are now roaring again after back-to-back successes at Dormoor, this time beating bottom of the table Billingham 32-12. All four of Sheffield Tigers' tries came in the second period, and the bonus point victory for them has lifted them to 11th in the standings, and they are also now 4 points clear of the bottom two. As for Billingham, their difficult run of form continues. It is now no win in 6 for the North East side. At the other end of the standings, there was no mistakes made at all by the leading title candidates. Table toppers Sheffield came away from a difficult place to go in Chester with a 43-31 victory at Hare Lane. 3 tries in the final quarter for Anthony Poser's side, helping him to a 12th win of the campaign. In second place, Leeds Tykes, and third place, Lim, followed suit in terms of collecting bonus point victories in round 13. Leeds Tykes general manager and current player Jake Brady celebrated his 100th game for the club with a 47-22 win against Harrogate, whilst Lim had to score 2 tries in the final 5 minutes to see off the challenger Preston Grasshoppers and secure a 42-29 victory in the Northwest. Preston actually led on 3 occasions in this game, but Lim responded to 2 yellow cards to return to winning ways, and it was a really good result for Adam Fletcher and Andy Davis's side. So what it means then for the current standings in National 2 North is we can show you just how tight it is at the summit. The top 3 all remain level on points, with Sheffield holding a plus 14 points difference over Leeds Tykes. So it really is fine margins between the top 3 sides at the moment as we go into the second half of the season. At the bottom, Billingham are currently 6 points adrift, but do have a game in hand. Harrogate stay in the bottom 2, despite picking up a bonus point against Leeds Tykes last time out. And speaking of Leeds Tykes, they play an integral part in one of 2 National 2 North games, which are taking place on Friday night, and Leeds Tykes face Otley in their annual fixture at Headingley Stadium. And those who are of a Leeds Tykes persuasion will of course know that Headingley really is the spiritual home of the club, and Leeds Tykes will be marking their Christmas fixture by hosting neighbours Otley at Headingley on Friday night. And the lovely people at Leeds Tykes invited us over to Headingley earlier on this week to catch up with Director of Rugby Pete Seaborn, Head Coach Pete Lucock, and General Manager Jake Brady to build up to Friday night, but of course talk about yet another title race which Leeds Tykes are currently embroiled in.
First of all, Pete, thanks for having us down at Headingley today to look ahead to the big game on Friday night against Otley in National 2 North. But as we sit here, one more game to go before Christmas, going into the second half of the season. Is this where you wanted Leeds Tykes to be at the stage of the season?
Obviously after the season we had last year, we needed to kick on, and promotion isn't our goal to start with. Our goal is to be safe and stay up, and hopefully if we pick 5 points up in the next 2-3 weeks, then that's first job done. Then after that, we reassess and see where we need to be. Obviously, yes, we are looking to get promoted, but as the league's shown last year and then again this year, that it's a tough league to get out of. There was Sells and Rotherham last year. This year there's, I know there's a Sells, Lim and Sheffield at the top, but then you've got Fylde and Wharfdale banging on the door as well. And in the last 3 or 4 weeks, it's just shown that every game that we play, and not only Leeds Tykes but across the board in the leagues, you can't now judge who's going to beat who, because it's that tight a league and teams are working each other out after the first few weeks of the season. So yeah, it's a tough league. It's an exciting league, and hopefully come the end of the season, hopefully we might be where we want to be.
I think we've got a lot of development to do with as a squad. I think as a matchday squad we've had loads of change, and I think that's a lot of what we've put into this season so far. We've had to rely on a lot of bodies, and to get them all up to the level and be in the position we're now, I think that's a testament to all the lads.
We looked last year and looked at his failings. I know we dropped 9 points in the end, but looked at his failings at where we needed to be. And I worked out that we needed a bigger squad and more strength in depth, which is what we've got. And there's been a fairly big overhaul from within. So obviously Mike Aspinall stepped down as head coach, and then we brought, plan was for Pete Lucock to come in as player coach last year and then take over as head coach, which he's done remarkably well. And he's took to it like a duck to water. And then on the playing front as well, we brought 15 new players in that needed to be able to adjust to the pace of the game, the physicality of the game in this league. And then as players have settled down and found a level, it's now, can we kick on and get that playing level higher and higher, because we try to push the bar each week.
My ambition is to get the club up the levels. I'm not afraid of saying that, because that's where I think it deserves to be. Obviously, there's a lot of work to do. We're getting loads of support from behind the scenes, and I'm quite happy to take some of that on my shoulders. The club needs to be higher, and I want it to be higher. So that's where I see it at the end of the day.
Yeah, and just onto the picture in National 2 North at the moment, obviously you're right up there again, but with Sheffield and Lim all on 60 points, all on 12 wins. For a neutral, for us in the media, it's really, really nicely poised. But how much do you take from the learnings of last season going into the second half of this year?
I think we'll take loads from it. Like we were there nearly every week of the season with Rotherham. Look, if we didn't learn anything from last season, we'd be stupid. We didn't do everything right. It didn't play out our way, but I think a lot of the hurt, a lot of the feelings, and there's a lot of boys who want to put it right, and I think that puts us in a better stead already. But we need to action that as well. It's all right saying, "Oh, we want to do better." I think there's a lot of action that needs putting in the second half of the season as well. In the off-season and in the pre-season, the boys came back in the right way. Everyone had the bit between the teeth. Everyone came back in the right way, and like we said, we've probably had to develop a lot more as a team, and we've had to rely on a lot of bodies. But I think that's testament to where we are in the league.
You're obviously embroiled in another really big battle at the top of the table already this season. Obviously, it was you and Rotherham last year. 3 this year with Sheffield and Lim. In a weird way, do you kind of relish? I know you'd like to probably wrap up early and it not be too much of a challenge, but do you kind of relish this battle? Does it make it every game such an important fixture every single time you turn up on a Friday or Saturday?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, that's why we're in sport, isn't it? Not you step on the pitch, you don't know the result. It could go either way, and it's the same. It's the same with the situation we're in now. It's much more exciting to be a part of something where there is a real battle. You've got to perform. You've got to give your best every week, and if you don't, somebody's going to nip above you in the league, or 2 people are going to nip above you in the league. So it's going to bring out the best in us. It's going to bring out the best in Sheffield, and it's going to bring out the best in Lim. And then at the end of the day, the best team will win and win the league, deservedly so. So yeah, it's really exciting. It's much more exciting than just romping home the league and being 10 points clear at Christmas. Nobody really wants that. The players don't want the supporters. Everyone wants to come to a game and pay to watch something that it's really important who wins this.
I'll just straight back because I'm not interested in what other teams are doing. It's week by week, and Otley's the test on Friday night as it was Harrogate last week, because isn't where we are within Yorkshire. Where the big club in the big city, and teams want to knock us off as perch, like I said. So it's Otley's the main focus of the weekend. Then we'd reset after Christmas, and then we'll take it from there. But I'm straight back in that one back. We're on a journey. It's a long one to get back to where the club needs to be, and as a club and as a city. Obviously, we've got the Rhinos. You've got Leeds United. You've got Leeds Knights. You've got Leeds Rhinos netball, and the 2 universities. Everything's striving, and now hopefully it's our turn to kick on and make the city proud of us.
Yeah, we've made a start. I don't think we're anywhere near the end of our journey, at Leeds Tykes journey, where we need to be, but we definitely made a start. The negative press has gone away now, disappeared. It's mostly positive. Looking at the club in a good light, the positive stuff we're doing, where we are in the league, the development of the squad and the coaching team. So yeah, we've definitely turned the corner in that, but there's a long way to go. I'm sure the other 2 peaks have said, but we're not happy with where we are yet. We want to push further, and we want to go further.
This is, of course, a club so close to your heart. I was reading an interview you did in the rugby paper, I think it was back in October, saying you used to obviously come here and watch Leeds play. So how much are you kind of looking forward to Friday night, and obviously been part of it with Leeds Tykes?
Yeah, it's definitely one of the highlights of the season. Every time I walk in here, even just now to talk to you, It's unbelievable to get the chance to play here. The facility is amazing, and you walk through that Howard Suite up there, and the cricket pitch is on the other side. Yeah, we're lucky. The city of Leeds is really lucky to have a stadium like this, and Leeds Tykes, the rugby union club in the city, is really lucky to be able to play here, even if it's still one game a season at the moment. Yeah, to get the chance to play is amazing.
Like every time you come to a facility like this, and like you said, I've got such fond memories of myself. Although it's had a bit of a glow up since the days I was playing. I've had so many memories actually out on the field as well, and a lot of memories in the changing rooms after some big wins with a lot of good people and a lot of people that I hold high in my life. So yeah, look, it means a lot, and hopefully the boys playing on Friday, it means a lot to them as well, stepping out on the field.
It's going to be a massive occasion. It's going to feel special here under the lights on a Friday night, rugby union at Headingley Stadium. It's going to be brilliant. Leeds Tykes we're going to bring our best game. I'm sure Otley will as well. They won't be turning up here to roll over, that's for sure. So yeah, it's going to be, I'm sure there'll be hotly contested. There'll be a bit of spice in there, a little bit of niggle, but also some great rugby played. We're not shy about wanting to use the ball and play from anywhere on the pitch. And the way Otley have been going for the last few weeks, they look like they're doing the same, playing from everywhere. Even some exciting stuff. So I think it's going to be a fantastic game of rugby to watch as well.
So a massive thanks to Leeds Tykes for inviting us down to Headingley earlier in the week. Of course, Leeds Tykes are one of our feature clubs on the National League Rugby preview show this week. And when I was walking up to the ground, you do get a sense of the history which is attached to the rugby stadium, both from a rugby union and rugby league perspective. And for those who don't know, the cricket ground is actually connected to the rugby stadium as well. So it was really an impressive complex at Headingley, and for all those sport lovers, I definitely encourage you to check it out if you get the chance. And why not do that this Friday night with Leeds Tykes hosting Otley under the lights at Headingley for what should be a belting Yorkshire derby. Now, I know the wonderful media team at Leeds Tykes of Angela, Susie, Ben, and I know a few other people will probably chip in as well, are working incredibly hard to promote the game on Friday night, and all the details around the game, including how to buy a ticket, will be on Leeds Tykes' website. A link also to that will be in the description of the show, and I know Leeds Tykes are pushing that link across their social media channels as well. They're expecting a really, really strong crowd at Headingley, and it feels like the ideal way, if you're finishing for Christmas, to kick off your festivities by heading down to Headingley and taking in a Yorkshire derby. Just on Otley, by the way, who will be playing Leeds on Friday night. 3 tries in the final 12 minutes for them, clinched a 36-35 victory over Hull Ionians in round 13. Scrum half Sam Connor scored a hat-trick, and it also meant that he won National 2 North's Player of the Week. So that just gives you a little bit of a snapshot, doesn't it, of the talent that should be on show at Headingley on Friday night. So Leeds Tykes versus Otley is one of the fixtures which takes place on Friday, and there is also another significant local rivalry to get stuck into between Sheffield and Sheffield Tigers at Aberdale Park. The Tigers come into this one with a spring in their step, don't they? Well, Sheffield know they could be top of the tree at Christmas, so 2 brilliant games to kick things off with in National 2 North. On to Saturday, where we'll jump to the middle of the list, where Lim are back on their own patch to face Chester. Lim will, of course, know the Sheffield and Leeds results by the time they kick off in Cheshire, so it will add to the occasion at Crouchy Lane on Saturday. Elsewhere, a North East derby sees Billingham host Tyndale, a 19-all draw back in round 2 between these two clubs, but the sides have headed in different directions since then. Billingham will be desperate to give the Greenwood Road faithful an early Christmas gift, while Tyndale come into this one unbeaten in 5 after securing their first home win of the season last time out, and Will Roberts' hat-trick helping them to a 38-17 success over Hull, with Tyndale now into the top half of the table. 2 more brilliant derby matchups now, with Hull Ionians hosting Hull at Brantington Park, while Fylde go to Preston Grasshoppers for the latest instalment of the Lancashire rivalry off the back of a phenomenal comeback win against Wharfdale in round 13. They were 22-0 down at half-time, Fylde. They fought back to lead 28-22. They then fell behind again only for Patrick Bishop's late penalty to seal a 31-30 win in front of another plus 1,000 crowd at Woodlands. And it should be another great atmosphere and another healthy crowd at Preston Grass opposite Lightfoot Green on Saturday when Preston and Fylde collide. And to round things off, another Yorkshire derby with Wharfdale and Harrogate meeting at the Avenue.